Hey, this is Matt once again. We're back to another video. This is a paid request for Rapid Kirby 3K. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, usually the best way to do it. Do have a Cash App and as well as other stuff. Links are down below in info box. I'll get to as soon as I can. It could be a movie review, re-review, a topic, a tier list, a ranking, video game playthrough for an hour, a full playthrough, whatever the case. I'll get to as soon as I can. For those who sent them, thank you. Really do appreciate. I appreciate it. I really do. It's really sincerely thank you for that. So it's Wrongfully Accused from 1998. This is when Leslie Nielsen was doing this string of movies that were parodies. Of course, going back to Airplane, and then you had the Naked Gun films, and then in the 90s you had films like this film, Spy Hard. And the thing is, I think the Naked Gun films are definitely what brought films like Spy Hard and this greenlit. But they were never as successful as the Naked Gun films. And it's one of those things that, as I'm watching the film, it's a parody film, so they throw anything they can on the wall to see what sticks. I wouldn't say I laughed a lot in this movie, and yet I didn't hate it. I know it's one of those weird things where I don't think as a parody is it as funny as, say, the first Naked Gun, Airplane, Airplane 2, Hot Shots Part 2, National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. In my opinion, no. But would I take this over Scary Movie 5 or Scary Movie 4 or Disaster Movie or Epic Movie or Superhero Movie, all that stuff? Absolutely, yes. I mean, that may not be saying much, but still. So it's kind of in this weird in-between. Now, it has, I think, like a 6 out of 10 IMDb, so, I mean, there are people that do like the film. I wouldn't say I grew up with this movie. I saw this later in life. It's written by Pat Proft, who was a writer. He was one of the writers on the first Police Academy. He was one of the writers on some of the Hot Shots films and Naked Gun films. This is his chance to direct. And like I said, it does star Leslie Nielsen. I think that's why, overall, I could watch this, even though I didn't find a whole lot of it hilarious. Leslie Nielsen is still, it's just fun to see him work. He's a fantastic deadpan actor for comedy, where he could sell stupid, ridiculous stuff, but his mannerisms or his looks of confusion and just how he just buys into what's going on, and it doesn't feel like he's half-assed. It doesn't feel like he's sleepwalking through it. Yes, he just says the same shtick he does in the Naked Gun films or Spy Hard and other stuff, but if you go see a Leslie Nielsen film, that's kind of what you're looking for. And, you know, the plots don't be ridiculous. This, it's parody more The Fugitive. Now, there are other films that get parodied. There's one scene that parodies The Usual Suspects. The end of the film parodies Titanic. Mission Impossible is parodied. I remember reading up somewhere that among the references, Die Hard was referenced. I have no idea what they mean by that because I didn't see any. But I would say it's mostly The Fugitive. So Leslie Nielsen is a violin player. One release another, he kind of gets seduced by Kelly LeBrock. The same Kelly LeBrock who was in Weird Science back in the day and Hard to Kill with Steven Seagal. Goes there to her place, and someone has killed Michael York. Michael York, who was in Logan's Run, among other movies. He was in some of the Austin Powers films. He's been shot to death. And the guy who's going to frame Leslie Nielsen is the one-legged, one-armed, one-eyed man. He gets arrested, he gets out of jail, on a bus, train crashes into it, like The Fugitive. Richard Crenna, which he had been in the parody Hot Shots Part 2, he's here in the Tommy Lee Jones role. It's always fun to see Richard Crenna. Now, granted, I think he was funnier in Hot Shots Part 2. Plus, I like that he's playing a takeoff of Colonel Troutman, being a big Rambo fan. But it was still fun to see Richard Crenna try to have this kind of southern accent and trying to have that kind of rapid-fire delivery of Tommy Lee Jones. But yeah, I'm a fan of the actor, so it was nice to see him there. Now, even though I said it's not the most hilarious film, there were scenes that still made me chuckle for what they were. When Michael York gets shot, he's like, ouch. The way he said that, I thought that was pretty funny. And it just don't depend on your sense of humor. That's the thing with all these type of movies and parodies. And that's the thing is, they don't really make parodies anymore. That I know of. I'm trying to think of the last time there was a parody movie. There might have been one that's under the radar or just completely forgot, but what's sad, I mean, just to be fair, they are trying to do a new Scary Movie reboot with the Wayans brothers. So I guess that's the thought, is maybe that will be a big hit and more will follow. But yeah, parodies, they used to be a thing. As I mentioned, I mean, Hot Shots 1 and 2, Spy Hard, Wrongfully Accused. Around the same time, I think the same year, Jane Austen's Mafia, which I never saw that. Well, no, maybe I did see it once. But it's been forever, I can't remember much. I think Lloyd Bridges was in it. I think Jay Moore was in it. Been forever since I've seen it. But you know, like, that was a parody. And of course, again, a few years later, Scary Movie would be a huge hit. But the sad thing is, those seltzer bird or seltzer bottle, whatever the fuck their names are, shove bottles of bourbon up their ass until there ain't no squirt left, and put a cork in it. They put each one at 69 and pop the cork, goes all over their faces, and whatever else comes out, shit stains and all. I hate those untalented pieces of trash, because they killed a genre, a subgenre. They killed parodies. Now, I know they didn't make every one of these, but it feels like... Okay, I won't list what the hell they did. Seltzer... Because I know this, I just have to get this out. Jason Freebird and Aaron Seltzer. Yeah, I'd rather be listening to Freebird. So, apparently they helped write Scary Movie, but the Wayans brothers. So they directed Date Movie, Epic Movie, Meet the Spartans, Disaster Movie, Vampires Suck, The Starving Games, Super Fast. So yeah, they didn't even do superhero movie, but that felt like the same movie as this. So I'm surprised they didn't. That stuff there. And what's sad is some of these films were hits. That's the weird thing. Date Movie, $20 million budget, $84 million. Epic Movie, $20 million budget, $86 million. Meet the Spartans, $30 million budget, $84 million. Vampires Suck. What? See, the Vampires Suck made $36 million in the U.S., $43 million internationally for an $80 million gross, and it cost $20 million. I can't believe that made 36 million US Vampire suck. I can't find a single fucking person, I bet. My bottom dollar, I won't be able to find a single fucking person that saw that movie in the theater. Unless maybe Seltzerberg or Seltzerball bought every fucking ticket. Maybe they did. So they jerked themselves off in the theater by themselves. So yeah, some of those films were hits, but I don't know. Did people just watch them because they were bored? They just wanted, public torture. Let's torture ourselves this day to see this piece of shit in the theater. Or is there a fan base for these type of movies that I'm just incognito on? Maybe, I don't know. But this movie, that's the thing. Like, while there are fun bits to give spoilers on some. Like when Leslie Nielsen's fighting the one-armed, one-legged man, and as they're wrestling, they realize they're on a Twister board. They start playing a bit of Twister. When he's on the prison bus, one of the prison guards is doing like the air stewardess thing, and what the loudspeaker is saying. Thought that was kind of funny in relation to the hand signals. Leslie Nielsen, the fact he plays everything so straightforward is a world of difference. And that's the thing, is that when you get a really good actor, even if the movie or the script is very mediocre, it can help quite a bit. Again, at the end of the day, you could call this mediocre, and I would agree with you. I'd probably say the same thing, but it goes to an okay time waster status because of Leslie Nielsen's performance. Now, that doesn't mean I love every film he's in, but like I said, there are, liking Richard Crenna. It was cool to see Kelly LeBrock, because Vela's been forever since I seen her, because I liked her in Weird Science. I thought she did fine in Hard to Kill. I know her and Seagal, which, I mean, I can't blame her. Seagal's a piece of trash. Fat ass. Above the buffet, hard to diet. That'll be in this film, since he's fatter than 3 snowmen put together. Hard to diet. Or he'll do an Under Siege 3, but he is this boat this time. But when Leslie Nielsen's talking to a guard, and he's like, "How dare you? No, my dare you. I said I dare you." Like, they're all, like, again, that back and forth was funny with the way Leslie's being serious about it. There are some fun visual gags, like when he's saving the people from the prison bus, and you see these dummies fly out, and they quickly go, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." The way that was done, I thought that was kind of funny. John Walsh from American's Most Wanted, he has a cameo, and they do a bit of the Usual Suspects where Leslie was at a bait shop and just making up stuff like, "Oh, my name's Buzzum for Frog." And like, you could clearly tell he's lying, but they just buy into it, and then he's looking at all the bait and toys and stuff, and he's like dropping the cup and then dropping donuts and other stuff. Like, that was kind of a fun take on Usual Suspects. The bit in The Fugitive when you get to the dam and Richard Crenna, a la Tommy Lee Jones, are ready to catch him. I do like the physical effect where Leslie Nielsen's heart, looking like a Valentine's Day heart, is like popping out of his chest. Thought that was kind of a cool effect that they had. There's a bit where he's watching TV and then he mutes it. And he goes off to do stuff, but then we look at the TV, and the woman's like, as in, like, why she can't talk, because him being the TV, the woman on TV can't talk to. Well, I thought that was kind of funny. They said they do a take on Baywatch, where when Leslie Nielsen dives and he's in the water, people are coming. Granted, they don't do anything. They just run slow, bounce their titties with over-the-top sound effects, get there, then they leave. So they really did do that for no reason. They do, like I said, they do a Mission Impossible dad, as you just tell from the trailers. Although I saw an interview with Leslie Nielsen, apparently they shoot a lot of stuff, and he said a lot of stuff in that scene was cut out. So it makes you wonder what other scenes were cut out. I'm sure with these type of movies, they try a lot of gags. They try a lot of stuff that probably ends on the cutting room floor. So, and that's always the thing of, well, you didn't think it was funny, but maybe this person would have thought this was funny and this was funny, and you never know. I would say two of my favorite scenes, again, to do more spoilers, is one was a take on North by Northwest with the airplane sequence. Only he's running and you see it's just a toy plane try to bop him on the head. Because Leslie really sells the fear of this little toy. But my favorite bit, which I forgot about this because I've seen this film before a while ago, but during the prison scene where he jumps out of the bus, out of the way of the train collides with the bus. Well, Leslie's running into the woods, and the train's there, and you see its headlight kind of turn and look at him. And props for doing this as physical as they could, where the train becomes alive and starts going off the track to hunt him down, and Leslie's playing hide and seek with the fucking train. And there's literally a bit with a tree. Like, imagine this is the tree, and the train does this. Okay, like it's like peeks around the corner. I thought that was the for me my favorite joke in the movie was that the train's pissed off that Indian Leslie and literally goes off the track to hunt him down. I kind of wish they kept that going, but I think that would have been funnier. Is that every time after a while the train pops back up and is unrelenting. I just think like just how funny it would be just where to put this train in more ridiculous situations. So I actually think that would have been a pretty fun, granted expensive, but I thought that would have been a pretty fun running gag. Like he goes on a subway train, and then the train tries to get into the subway train. And stuff like that. Again, does every joke work? No. I mean, there's a bit where the good cops are arresting the cops are arresting the bad guys, and Richard Crenna and them are shooting at the bad guys. But then the bad guys start doing the river dance. If they went on too long, where they just keep shooting, they keep dancing and doing the river dance. For those who remember it. If you don't, just look it up. Just type up river dance. And again, that just went on too long. I didn't think it was funny in the first place. And spoilers, they give the ending away in the trailer. If you watch the trailer, the bit where it's the Titanic and they get hit and fall back and knocked out, that is the last scene in the movie. The very last scene. So that's crazy that they give the very last scene away in the movie. But I guess, yeah, think about it. Titanic at that point was the most successful film of all time because it came out in 1997. So hey, we're parodying Titanic. We don't put that in the trailer to try to get people in to see the film. In the film, I don't remember doing that well. It did. Let me double check. 18% Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, 6 out of 10 IMDb. It only made, I think, like $9 million. Came out July, well, August 1998. See, these are the films that says it's parodied. The Fugitive, of course. Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger. I recognize a Clear and Present Danger because there's a bit where, remember the scene Clear and Present Danger near the third act when Harrison Ford's in the vehicle and they're trapped with all these bad guys shooting rockets at them. They gotta get the vehicle out. Or Leslie Nielsen's in the same situation, but he rolls down the doors and the missile goes through both the windows. That was kind of funny. Falling Down, I don't remember that. Superman? I don't remember Superman being parodied. Children of the Corn, Die Hard, I don't remember those being parodied. I might have missed those. I don't know where those were parodied in. Braveheart, there's a bit where some paint falls on him and he rips it off and he looks like Mel Gibson Braveheart. But yeah, I think some of these they're making up because I don't see any parody of Back to the Future or Up in Smoke or Die Hard or Superman in it. Now, maybe it went by quick and I didn't register. Maybe. But yeah, it only made $9 million at the box office, so it did very. I think even Spy Hard made 20-some million. Maybe by this point they were just getting tired of the shtick, because it does happen. I'm just looking at the weekend. It debuted at number 12 on the opening weekend. The films that beat it: Blade, number 1. That it debuted. I mean, Blade is a great movie. Saving Private Ryan was number 2, and its 5th week. There's Something About Mary was number 3, and its 6th week. How Stella Got Her Groove Back, number 4. Snake Eyes, number 5. Dead Men on Campus debuted in number 6. That's the one with Mark Paul Gosselaar from Saved by the Bell was in it. Ever After, number 7. Dance With Me, number 8. The Parent Trap, number 9, in its 4th week. Number 10, The Avengers, not the Marvel one. Number 11, Halloween H2O in its 3rd week. And then number 12, Wrongfully Accused. And there was in 2,000 theaters, so $3 million opening weekend. So yeah, I guess at that point, people were just really not into Leslie Nielsen anymore. Maybe they're just like, okay, diminishing returns. And if you're wondering, I'm seeing what he did after this, Leslie Nielsen. Rest in peace to him. Passed away in 2010. And that's the thing, Leslie Nielsen was a serious actor. People don't realize that he was a very serious actor. He was in Forbidden Planet and Night Train to Paris and other stuff. He was in some westerns. The Poseidon Adventure, he was the captain. It wasn't until Airplane where he still did serious stuff, but he would get a bit more comedic roles. Especially with the Naked Gun stuff. Of course, he was in Creepshow. He did a good job in that. But yeah, 1988, The Naked Gun. Then yeah, Repossessed, 1990. Naked Gun 2.5. Surf Ninjas, he was the villain. Naked Gun 33 and the third. Dracula Dead and Loving It, which I do enjoy. I think that's a fun movie. It's one of my favorite Mel Brooks films. Spy Hard. Mr. Magoo, I remember that being a flop. And films I never heard of. Family Plan. Safety Patrol. After this, he did Santa Who, which was made for TV. 2001: A Space Travesty. Camouflage. Men with Brooms. And then he was in Scary Movie 3. Scary Movie 4 as the president. So he was in Superhero Movie. Directed by Craig Mazin. He was in Stan Helsing. Spanish Movie. Wow, they did a Spanish parody film? Spanish version of the spoof films that were appearing at the time. Jesus. He was in Stonerville. That I guess there was an unfinished film where he was voice acting called the Waterman Movie. That has never been released. Huh. So yeah, other than the Scary Movie films, didn't really, I mean, just, like, most of these are comedy afterward. But you got, I don't want to say, I guess I could say pigeonholed. Now, maybe you liked that. But yeah, it's a shame that Leslie Nielsen that kind of ended up with, that's a guy that deserved better work. But again, maybe people at this point were just like, okay, you know, they say this film's not a classic, it's not great. Kind of felt the same way about Spy Hard. And then a lot of his films were just going straight to video at that point, or made for TV. Especially after how massive a bomb this is. I think Scary Movie 3 and 4 were the only ones that went to theaters, pretty much. Oh, I guess Superhero Movie, which he co-starred and stuff. But anyway. It's a shame. Because, I mean, he was a very talented guy, very funny guy. I know there's a whole thing where apparently he would have this fart machine. And whether it be talk shows or other places, he would use his fart machine to have fun with people, goof on people. But, being a very talented guy. And in a weird way, as I was trying to say, that's what was nice about watching this again. After, I don't know, it's been years and years since I've seen this. Even though it's not a great movie, there's a couple chuckles I got out of it, but more so, revisiting Leslie Nielsen was kind of like revisiting an old friend they haven't seen in a while. No pun intended, because it seemed like he looked the same for decades. Like, Airplane was 1980, this was 1998, and he looked the same. Maybe a handful, maybe a little bit more wrinkles, but he looked the same. Like, he always looked old to me. But it was nice to revisit him. That was nice. So who knows? Maybe one day I'll check out those direct-to-video films. I'm sure they're bad, but just to cross off the list. Who knows? With that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.